Draper Radio.
Hey guys, we're back.
We're back. Mr. Blaze, we're back. Season 3, Episode 1.
It's coming back in, new school year.
Yeah.
Had a nice summer. It's
Quality summer.
bittersweet, but I tell you, I'm well rested and ready for a new year of teaching as well as doing what we're doing now.
Yes. Second profession.
Yes,
We're still trying to get monetized, though.
working on that.
We're currently working ads, sponsorships,
Yes.
celebrity guests that want to come on. Yeah. Maybe this is it. This is the season, I think.
I think so. Well, I just wanted, speaking of all that, the money and stuff, 'cause I know like more subs, right, on YouTube, more subs equals,
Yep,
monetizing. I saw we're over 40 followers now on Spotify. So thank you. We applaud
cool.
all those 40. I know I have a few students out there, Ethan,
Very cool.
and they were saying, hey, Mr. Blaze, can you get the podcast out on Amazon Music? So we're out on Google Podcast now, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio,
Wow.
Spotify, Apple
Big things.
Podcasts.
Big things.
I mean,
I love it.
and it's all for you guys.
Yeah.
We just
Season 3 is always when, like, the big... I remember at the start of Season 2, we joked, like, all right, what happens in Season 2 on shows?
Yeah.
Season 3 is always the penultimate. It's like the best. It's the greatest. You know? You got Return of the Jedi,
Oh, that's
Indiana Jones and Last Crusade. You
Yep.
see what I'm doing here? I'm kind of giving a...
Oh, just a nice lead in.
Yes. Absolutely. So, yeah, I guess we'll just dive right in. Our first episode of Season 3 is going to all be about the action movie Spectacular.
Dun, dun, dun.
It's cue action music.
Yes, I just wrote a note for myself, put like dramatic music.
Oh, there you go. Perfect. Yes.
So hopefully the edits will come through.
Cue the car chase, the epic music,
Yeah.
the super buff like action star with like the t-shirt like shredded like.
Yes.
Yes.
Kind of like Hulk Hogan back in the day,
Yeah.
just tearing that up,
Hogan's still alive too as of 2023 we're recording, so the kids can know who Hulk Hogan is.
Yeah,
Some people we talked about have gone, but he's still around.
Well, I was talking to a student about like Mr. Blaze, do you watch WWE? I go, do you mean WWF?
Yes. The world was now it's Animal Federation, took it back, I guess.
Yes, because it was
World Wildlife Federation.
because they were the OG of that
Yes.
that acronym. Is that right? Is that the right word?
Sure. Yes.
Yeah,
Acronym.
sounds good.
Yeah, that works.
English
very
teachers
cool.
can phone in with a
They'll
message to
critique us.
update that.
Incorrect. It wasn't
Yes.
an acronym.
Yep.
It was an abbreviation. No, I think it was an acronym.
But they were. It's so funny because they were naming wrestlers and like,
Cool.
I'm like, nope, I don't know the new
the
one.
new
It's
people,
like-
yeah, no clue.
It'd be the same if I said, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
Yeah, Macho Man Randy Savage,
Do you see that episode where Piper's Pit? They were
Yeah.
going crazy.
or like they had the cage match, Mick Foley,
Yeah.
Mankind. Yep, I know. They don't get it.
I saw a cage match.
Yeah, I remember you saying it on a
That
previous
was
episode.
oh my
yeah.
gosh. I mean, do they even do those cage matches
I
anymore?
have no clue. I haven't seen a modern wrestling episode in a long time.
gosh.
Long time.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
the good old
that's
days. Yeah.
definitely all in the vein of the stuff we're talking about today.
Yep.
Mr. Blaze and I, we've mentioned in prior episodes, we grew up in the 80s. That was like our heyday. And back then, the
best.
action film was the epitome of like this incredible movie-going experience. They're still around today.
Oh, agreed. Yeah.
But I think they've toned down, they've changed a lot. So we'll look at the history,
Yep.
some of our best action movie stars, who I'm pretty sure they're all still around, some modern people.
yeah.
And then, like what makes a great action film, all that good stuff.
Right, and I think too. I mean, this is just the tip of the iceberg list. I'm sure. I think we get some on our links. On our main page for our podcast. It's like we have we can leave a voice message, and we'll get that out there. Actually, if you follow us on Draper Radio, we're also on Instagram. But I think it'd be a great question we could put in on the podcast on Spotify on the app, asking oh well, did we leave out any people that you think should be on this list?
Yeah.
Or if we left out any movies or stuff
Sure.
like that. So I want to say it ahead of time before I get to the end of
There
the
you
episode
go.
and forget.
Right. Yeah. Or just shout us out. What's your favorite action film?
Yeah, just go for it.
Favorite action hero? Cool.
See if they agree, disagree. What we
Yeah.
say? I love
Maybe
it.
this is a callback to our episode of We're Still Cool. We're going to mention some
Oh, yeah.
action stars.
True,
People are
yeah.
going to be like, oh, that old man, that lame. Like, that was my childhood hero.
Yeah. The guy's walking around with a cane. He's in a wheelchair now.
Yeah, I know some of these guys are in their 80s. As insane as it is.
Well, and some of them too, I think, right, are even still going and getting some new action movies coming back.
Yeah.
I'm like,
we'll talk about a few guys that are still making action films.
Like action, they're not like on Golden Pond or something.
No, they're still
just Google that.
kicking
guys.
butt and taking names. Yeah,
That's it. I'll be back.
Yep. All right, so let's dive right in. You want to talk about first what, Mr. Blaze, in your opinion?
Yes.
Give me a couple of criteria, a couple of check boxes. What makes an action film great, in your opinion?
All right. Well, I think for like classic action, right? I mean, there's got to be. I think I love chase scenes.
Oh yeah.
Like it could be any sort of chase scene. It could be cars
on a bicycle,
right? Like a favorite one of mine too is like when a car, like a fast car, is trying to chase down a dirt bike, which can go in very different spots.
Sure.
So now you have like you got the great equalizer there,
or a bit of a David and Goliath kind of feel. You know, like who's gonna win, their strengths, weaknesses. Okay.
Yeah. So like that.
I dig it.
I would say. I mean, there's going to be some drama, so like some crazy big explosions, like some impossible moment.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't know, that's where I might draw the line at some point. Like if an action film becomes unplausible with the action, and we'll talk about some scenes particularly where I'm like, that could never happen. Like that more drifts into like sci-fi land.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. Definitely some explosions, some you know, if you know who Michael Bay is, the director, producer, his films always something goes kaboom, you know, like that's that's a
explosions of some sort, like, and it's a fine line of like, you know, back in our day there wasn't as much, if any, of like special effects.
Oh yeah,
you know,
it was all
special
practical effects. Yeah,
were very limited. You know, like they, you know, like they're actually blowing up stuff.
Yeah, they build little models, miniatures, and they put a little firecracker next to him, boom, it blows it up.
Right, exactly. You know, like Godzilla.
Yeah, oh yeah, little toys and such.
You know, that's sort of like the scaling. But so it's that versus, you know, like having like and having one more thing is having a believable actor. You know, like you know, like there's guys that are just like, I just want to break thing, like Hulk idea, right?
Right.
But you know, like the person always has some acting skill. It's not just like you know, getting guys in headlocks and like ramming cars into buildings.
Yeah.
You got a little bit more than that.
Right.
So,
like I don't think we'll mention any of these people, but there's been a recent movement in the last few years to take a wrestler, like a real WWE wrestler, and put them into an action movie.
Ooh.
But if the acting's not there, it's just like, all right, I'm just watching some big guy like punch things, basically.
Right. That's it. You know, like with the wrestling guys, I mean, they have their 30-second walk-in or minute walk-in, a little bit of drama, and then
showmanship. Yeah.
After that, what is there?
Then it's just jumping off the top rope, basically.
Yep. I'm a good stunt guy, and that's.
Exactly.
That's what it'll be,
which is great, but I don't want to watch you act, quote unquote, for at least 90 minutes.
Just be a stunt. We need stunt guys.
Stunt guys, perfect.
You know,
definitely.
And some of these guys on this list too, and girls, ladies, they do their own.
Oh yeah.
Like they don't like, I don't need anybody.
A lot of them are real tough customers. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I agree with all your things. I'd like to add. I love like a military tie-in too. So you got some kind of like jet fighters. You know, we talked about airplanes before. Some epic tank stuff. You know, I get stuff that I can never really do. Like I get terribly motion sickness, even from VR. I think we talked about.
Oh yeah, we have definitely.
So if there's a cool F-18 fighter jet scene, great.
Yes.
You know, but I can't do those things. So
makes
it cool.
Yeah, and I think the things you can't do, you like forms of art. I have things people do, like different types of art. Things I can't do.
Yeah.
I appreciate that much
more.
more.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, wow, I'm just like fascinated. I want to learn more about it.
Totally.
It's really
you can
cool.
escape like the real world and kind of like live in this movie for a limited amount of time. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. Yeah, so actually that ties us perfectly into our next topic too. Mr. Blaze put up here. You know, what really makes that great action film, the story, the believability. But I'm very glad you put this up here. I personally cannot stand. I don't mind CGI. Don't get me wrong. I think it's very cool. It's a great art form. But when it's too much in an action film to the point where you look at it and it looks computer generated, it has that kind of glossy look to it, and you're like, this is not. It's not real. Like I'm not enjoying this.
Agreed. Or even like when you're watching a show and you're like, they're just sitting there as a green screen. Like
Yeah,
it was
right,
like
right.
poorly done.
Sure.
You know, like they're just sitting on like an armature of some sort, and like just
Right.
videos playing behind them.
Yeah, especially if it's trying to be sold as like this is a believable action film.
Yeah, authenticity.
Like we're gonna specifically leave out like the Marvel films.
Sure.
We talked about
Because
that because those are action, quote unquote, but it's also superhero. It's not real.
Right.
So yeah, you want to have green screen and see like Thor fly across the sky. Perfect.
Yeah, because that's his thing. They're
Right.
like that's different because they're bringing a story from the pages of a comic to life.
Sure.
Which that's a feat in itself.
Exactly right, but it's something that could never happen. So okay,
And that's
then I get the CGI green screen.
Yeah.
But for these ones, yes, I
We-
perfectly prefer. Give me the practical effects. Give me the stuntman like we talked about. Even the miniatures, like George Lucas actually had Star Wars, the first one, all with like models and sets. So it's
Yeah.
actually a physical thing, and it looked fantastic in my opinion.
And a lot of the lay person wouldn't even know
Oh, yeah.
anything about like what was.
Yep. Yeah, you had no clue kind of how it would go on.
There's an alien ship landing here.
Ooh,
Oh, what's
maybe
that?
a little reference to a future episode.
Yes. Oops. There we go.
Very soothing sound though.
Yes, nice calming. You know, at the end of the day when brings
Oh,
that
yeah.
stress level down.
I need to chill out. Yeah, cool. So I think that was definitely my standpoint. When you're a kid and you're watching action films, you're not as cognizant of like CGI versus
No.
practical effects. We're not going to mention these films, but I remember in the mid 2000s when CGI really became a thing.
Yeah.
There are a few key scenes from some films where the CGI was so terrible that I was like, no, it looks bad. One of them was The Matrix.
Yeah.
The Matrix Part 2.
Yeah.
Like Neo, Keanu Reeves is fighting like 1,000 guys, and it looked like I'm watching a video game.
Right.
So when it gets like that, I'm like, no.
Because they were like, see, they should have done the Wachowski brothers. Oh, I think it's a brother, and now it's not a brother.
I don't know.
It's fluid like that.
Oh, okay.
I think I forgot what the whole deal is, but anyway,
sure,
with they should have done what James Cameron did,
Right.
with Avatar. Like
Oh,
he
okay.
waited for the technology to
Oh,
meet
yeah.
his expectations
Sure.
versus pushing it out. Like maybe if they had done
Yeah.
something like that, because you look at now, I don't like 3D never really caught. I don't think per
the big
se.
3D trend, yep.
But I tell you, the only 3D movie I've ever seen, I think it'll probably be the first, last, and only one, was Avatar.
Okay.
In the theater, and when we went, and I thought they had the line blurred so much between me watching a movie versus me feeling like I was a part of the movie.
Really? Okay.
So he waited for the technology to be there, like to making like the people's faces and all that
Yeah,
without
that's
getting into
admirable.
it.
Sure.
And I think, yeah, I remember like that scene you're talking about. I mean, when they're fighting all like,
Yeah.
and I'm like, your brain's telling like,
It takes you out of like the moment almost. And again, films, I know we talked about this before. We go to movies to kind of escape reality sometimes
Sure.
and become a part of this story. But then when you're dragged out of it, like, okay, that's clearly not Keanu Reeves anymore. That's like a digital,
yeah,
enhanced version.
right.
And we're kind of scarily getting into this world now too. Like, I don't think we'll have time to talk about it today. But I know we've referenced it before, like these AI-generated characters.
Yeah.
Like an actor passes away, but they're like, all right, now let's put this actor in his next film. It's all computer-generated.
Yeah.
That's scary, first of all.
And then we get into, and I don't like to talk politics, but like
The ethics of it, right.
ethics and
Sure.
legality of it, and
Right.
was that in the best interest of that person?
Sure.
And so it's,
Long story short, give me the old-fashioned, just
Yeah.
believable, like you said, car chase. There's a epic throwdown, big fight
Right.
scene or something.
Oh, and maybe what I want to tie in there for our female crowd and male crowd out there that might like this too. Maybe a little romance, maybe someone's in danger, right? And it got to be
Okay.
be rescued,
Save the day kind of
like
story?
I don't think it's on our list, but like Taken, like a movie where
the father-daughter
hostage,
relationship,
like that sort
Okay.
of stuff.
Sure.
Like something's at risk, something's
Yeah.
very precious that needs to
Right.
be.
I think that's a great starting point. With any story, you need a good driving plot. You need,
Right.
okay, there's that classic hero's journey plot
Right.
thing where like, all right, what's the mission? Where am I going? Who am I teaming up with? Who am I fighting?
Right.
Yeah, so if you get it laid out nice like that, that is a pretty quality film.
And another one, speaking of like the whole romance piece, and one I think will a whole, like, Marvel we'll have to do a whole separate episode on, and we'll space them out so we're not like every episode's a show. But another one of my favorite, and Mr. Swicky here likes it too, is like the James Bond series. Like you can't sneak that under the rug here. It has to me. My father and I watched them, and it was like it's own world. Universe, its own world, right?
Because now both of those, Marvel and James Bond, you're talking 25, 28 plus films now.
And in the span of years.
Oh, yeah, decades. Yeah.
It's and I have tons. I'll be real excited for that one, too.
You're going to drive your Aston Martin that day, aren't you?
Yes, I'm going to take it out of the garage.
It's my best James Bond sound effect.
Mr. Blaze.
Perfect. Yeah, cool.
Sweet.
I love this list we got, knowing that the next thing we kind of crafted together, some of the people that are, the who's who of the action film.
Yes.
So we got quite a list here, 15 different names, and it's by no means definitive.
Right.
But I would say, honestly, in my wheelhouse, 80s, 90s, my childhood, the big names were Sylvester Stallone.
Oh, of course.
Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah, so looking at this list, our decades, our generation, 80s, 90s, definitely the names that pop out the most. Sylvester Stallone. You had Rocky and Rambo, those great series.
Yep.
You have Arnold Schwarzenegger, Terminator. He made so many action films.
Oh, so many.
And I have to go with Bruce Willis. He'd probably be my last one for, quintessential action stars.
Agreed.
Anybody else you had on there that you were kind of... maybe in your earlier life, or maybe even talk about,
I think it's so funny. I must like the number 2 and 11.
2 and 11, Jackie Chan. Yeah, Jackie Chan made the list twice. He's that great.
Jackie Chan. I liked him so much I put him twice.
Yes. Well, let's swap number 11 to Jet Li. He was also my favorite.
Oh, yeah, Jet
martial
Li.
artist, actors, action film. Yep.
Yeah.
We left him off the list. No offense to Jet Li. Please don't unsubscribe.
No. Well, you know what? We're going to put 11 as Jet Li. And it's 11, but there's no hierarchy. Right.
Here.
There's
no first place. Nothing.
It came to my mind first, that sort of thing.
I always respected Jet Li, and this goes for any action star. He actually was a martial artist in tournaments, too. So, of all these people that can kick butt, he will legitimately kick your butt.
Speaking of.
Nope, we got some...
How could we...
Oh no. He could have his own episode of Walker, Texas Ranger himself, Chuck Norris.
Oh, my gosh. I mean, who fought Bruce Lee?
Yeah. Enter the Dragon. No, it was... was it Enter the Dragon?
Oh, man.
No, it wasn't Enter the Dragon.
No.
It was one of his
I think that
ones.
was a Bruce Lee...
that was the basis for Mortal Kombat, yeah. We'll have to do some side research in the meantime. But yeah, Chuck Norris. There's another guy. I think he's literally in his 80s. He could probably walk into this room right now and kick Mr. Blaze in my butt. Problem, no problem at all.
Well, you said, I agree with that. And you said, is the Way of the Dragon?
Way of the Dragon.
Yes,
close.
so you were
not
close.
Into the Dragon. Yes.
Yes, it had a dragon.
Something dragon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dragons are epic. So very
1972 adventure.
Do you have any of your favorite? This random side thing. I used to love those Chuck Norris jokes. Do you have any that instantly popped in mind? My favorite is always when Chuck Norris does a push-up. He's not pushing himself up. He's pushing the world down.
Oh, yeah. I can't pull up anyone from reference. I love it, though.
That was a great one.
Yeah.
Just how of a macho action star this dude was.
Yes.
Incredible.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. What do you even call it?
This is Chuck Norris isms. There was a good one too. I'm a history buff. It said Chuck Norris was born. I want to say he was born April 14th, 1945.
Yep.
The next day, Nazi Germany surrendered. April 15th, 1945. Was coincidence? I think not.
Chuck Norris had something to do with that.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's so many. If you're ever bored, just Google Chuck Norris sayings.
Here's one. Chuck Norris breathes air 5 times a day.
Yeah, right.
We could probably have a whole episode.
Oh yeah, we could just go through all the hilarious ones.
And then and it said Chuck Norris, his tears cure cancer. Too bad he never cried.
Oh yes, he's a stone cold action star.
Oh my gosh,
that's epic.
That's great. Yeah. So
I would bet money too. I bet you a lot of our listeners, kids, they don't even know who Chuck Norris is.
I think we need a Chuck Norris episode.
He had a great series of film called was it Missing in Action? Real 70s Vietnam kind of hero.
He did a lot of war
ones. Yeah. He's like Commandos in all these films. Yeah.
Well, you know what? I think, man, before we even finish our first episode, I think we got eight more.
Yeah.
Just like I'm thinking, we got Chuck Norris, an episode on him.
Specific episodes.
I'm thinking
we got James Bond.
I gotta have Bob Ross.
Yeah, we could do a Bob Ross one.
Educate my kids.
Totally.
I can even get a fellow artist in on here.
That'd be awesome.
So yeah, love him, hate him.
Yeah.
You know.
Very cool.
But yeah, so we got. So I would say on my list here, I like Tom Cruise.
Yep, I was referencing him with Top Gun. Yep.
Yep. Yeah, like with like the Top Gun and the Mission Impossible. I haven't seen the most recent one. It was like
I've missed the last tour or so.
And then Maverick.
Yep, which was fantastic.
How do you make the original like it? I dare say. I mean, people might be on the fence about it, but like, I dare say it was on par with.
Yeah.
You know, I can't say
they're
Trump,
so neck and neck. I got to give it personally. I think Maverick was better. It was fantastic.
It was. I'm floored. I mean, like here I am, just like I'm like stammering. I'm like I couldn't believe it. Like it's like trying to make a second Goonies. You know, some things you just can't.
Yeah, I always say don't touch it. Right.
You stay away from it.
Yep.
But like Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise definitely up there. Yeah.
Definitely on there.
I personally like Uma Thurman, number 8 for like kick butt, like actress.
Uma Thurman.
She always plays kind of like that, tough martial artist kind of role.
And who else we have? Yeah, Angelina Jolie from she was like also in what was the one Tomb Raider.
Tomb Raider. Yep.
And
game series.
Brad Pitt.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Yes, Mr. Yeah, that was
pretty good. Good throwdown kind of battle movie. Yeah.
And she's been in one too. Was it called Salt?
Yeah, actually,
it was filmed around here.
Yeah,
it filmed
right
around like that cool interchange, like that layered, the layered ramps. Where
I was
like
that a local spot makes a guest appearance in a movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Another one. There's an action. I didn't put it on here, but a local is Behind the Pines. Right, Ryan Gosling was there, and
Yep.
And I was actually downtown. I was like, oh my gosh, look at this. There's the bank, and there he is. And I'm like, oh yeah, I drove down that road. And
you're
like,
fanboying out. Yeah.
Oh, totally was. It was really cool. Sorry, my claim to fame there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so we got tons and tons. We put like Chris Hemsworth and Chris Evans on there.
Yeah, the Chris's.
But we're not even going to touch too much on those because those guys, a majority of their films have been on Marvel. So
no Chris Pine.
Who?
Chris Pine didn't make it.
No.
Chris Pine's like the third. They always lump them together. Hemsworth, Evans, Pine,
and Pratt, right?
Oh yeah, Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt.
Oh no, we're leaving off names. These celebrities are all unsubscribing as we speak.
Did have another female on here too. I don't even know how. Denai. She was basically the general of the Black Panther.
Yeah, she played Okoye.
Phenomenal.
She was, Michonne in The Walking Dead.
Yep.
If you're into Walking Dead at all. Yeah, real kick butt. Yep.
So phenomenal.
Yeah, we had a pretty quality list, but I'm really curious see what the our listeners, like the students especially, say. I've never heard of any of these people, but here's my action person. I'd be like, who's that?
Right? Yeah, I'm curious. Yeah, we'll Google yours, and you can Google ours and find out, film, and there'll be your homework.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Did we put
Margot. Yeah, Margot Robbie. Yep.
Robbie.
But she's cool too, because obviously kids probably know her from Barbie now.
Oh yeah.
But she also played like kick butt roles, like Harley Quinn. Yeah, like totally night and day. So that's so respectable to me.
And that was it Warner Brothers that made?
Was it
Barbie? I think.
I don't know who made Barbie.
I remember him saying something about it was like the highest grossing. It beat out like Batman.
Oh really? Could be, yeah.
Something like that, which I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, it drew quite a fan base. I haven't seen the Barbie movie.
I've not seen it yet. I'm curious. People say it's really good. So I'll check it out.
Definitely.
Sure. I can't forget Vin Diesel, 16.
Vin
Diesel, Paul Walker, when Fast and Furious 1 came out in 2001.
Game changer.
That changed my life. That got me into cars. That one single film.
That was it. It really did. I mean, you look at, I think all the the auto body shops that,
oh, yeah.
And you had all these sort of add-ons you could get.
Aftermarket
the
parts.
Boomer McLeod, you insert your favorite car stereo place here. I don't even know if, there's places like that anymore.
Yeah, the fad's kind of died faded out. So I feel like the modern generation, they'll tell us that all the rage is like Teslas and electric cars. And, Which, they're cool. Obviously, we love the tech, and they're super fast. Don't get me wrong.
Right. Oh, totally.
I grew up in that generation of like muscle cars or like the imports. You add all this cool stuff onto the booming speakers we talked about.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
On our car episodes. So.
Oh, totally. I was talking to Mr. Whipple today about the old like the boom boxes.
Oh, yeah.
Like
had to do it.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's a beautiful list.
Very good list.
Yeah, I'd be curious those two things. Comment if you know those actors. You're like, yes, I've seen the Die Hard films. I've seen Rambo. I've seen Rocky. And tell us what your favorite current action stars are.
Excellent. Yeah, I think that'll be really cool to see. I mean, you can do like I'll do some polls on Spotify.
Yeah. That'd be
see
neat.
what, like if they agree with our favorites.
Or if they have one big giant battle, who would win?
Yeah.
Like Bruce Willis, I liked him, but he was always cool because, the Die Hard films, he's actually notable because he's like a normal looking person.
Right.
He's not like Schwarzenegger, like 6'5", 350 pounds of muscle.
Right.
He was like an everyday Joe kind of. So
totally. Yeah, totally. Just an average guy, not like even like like Jackie Chan. He's not a big guy, but he's a martial artist. And he did every stunt. He even he did one stunt. I forgot what movie it was from, but maybe it was behind the scenes, and he had a cast on.
Oh, really?
And they made this special like vinyl slip on. They made it look like his pant.
Oh, wow.
And
he's
his shoe.
devoted.
But he had a cast, and he's running around like climbing up walls and stuff like Spider-Man.
Crazy.
He is ridiculous.
Yeah,
He,
some
never
people,
say die.
Yeah. Tom Cruise is known for that too. He tries to do all of his stunt work.
Yeah.
Like the Mission Impossible films, he's climbing like rock faces and stuff. So
he
was saying in one scene in Mission Impossible 2, it's my favorite one. He's climbing like 1,000-foot rock face, and in the film he has no ropes. They just CGI deleted him out. But he said, in behind the scenes, he's like, I was willing to climb the rock without ropes in real life.
Right.
But they're like, no, if you slip and fall, you're worth millions. We can't lose you.
Right.
So they force him to use the safety gear.
You need. Yeah, I mean, it gets to a point where, we appreciate that you want to do that. However, we care about you too much.
Yeah.
You're insured.
Yes, the production company is like, no, you're worth money to us. Don't do that.
Right. All
yeah.
right.
So that'd be really neat. What else we got about action films here? Just kind of a best of, maybe?
Yeah, we got, so we were talking about, some of the chase scene, we talked about that. Oh, yeah.
Do you have one in mind? Like, what's the best chase scene you've ever seen?
The best chase scene? Oh, my gosh.
I know, it's so hard. We like doing these on-the-spot questions.
I mean, some of them, I'm trying to remember, like, some of... there was, oh my gosh, there was like it was like bank robbery one, but there was, I mean, a lot of the James Bond movies. Like if I could say one over the other, but like there was, I guess I would say, is it Tomorrow Never Dies? There was one that had this Aston Martin. And the whole theme of the movie, like it was saying that like this, the evil villain had a secret lair, but it was in like this ice castle, right? And it had this Aston Martin. It could camouflage completely.
I know what you're talking about.
And then it also had like, it was in to drive up in the ice castle and do all sorts of damage in there. It had
like spikes in the tire
wheels,
and stuff,
and then they had a chase scene across like
the
Arctic, and it was so like.
You're referring to Die Another Day.
Die Another Day. Tomorrow Never Dies. You see, like there's so many dies or tomorrow. Tomorrow Never Dies. It's not.
Yeah, very spy.
It's not quite dead yet. You know.
Exactly. No, that's a great one. Real quality. I agree.
So I mean, it could be that one. I mean, anyone that has an Aston Martin in it, it was pretty good.
It's a beautiful car. Yeah, Daniel Craig. He did a couple of James Bond films, like beautiful chase scenes, incredible.
It just and chase scenes. Like there was one in Casino Royale.
Yeah.
Where he had there was some chase where it was him running. And these guys are running.
Oh yeah.
And they're like straight up doing like parkour. You're like, one guy's flipping around, but like Daniel Craig is like, a real bad mamma jamma. And he just like Hulk smashes through walls. He's like, I got this sheetrock wall. I'm just gonna go straight through it. Yep. I'm not gonna do the flippy do like Dukes of Hazzard stuff. So, but yeah, some of those are even like dramatic. Oh my gosh, they're just running out on like construction sites, jumping up on a crane, swinging across, and you're like, it's one of those scenes where you forget to breathe. You
Yeah,
know,
no,
like that.
right.
Every good act. That's a
Gripping
good.
the seat like and
Yes.
white knuckle in it like.
Well, that's a good characteristic. So
Sure.
if did the movie have a time when you forgot to breathe? And it's great. You're not consciously, you know. You're like,
Yeah. You're like, whoa. You look at the person next to you.
Whoa.
You're like, you just got to whisper. That was epic.
yes. You're just like, oh my
You're
gosh,
like,
you got
yeah, like pumping your
goosebumps.
fist,
That was
yeah.
great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Watch it again.
Great.
How about you? Any?
Well, I'm glad you put, Fast and the Furious. I love that first one. There's a great chase scene. Fast 4, in my opinion, has the best like street racing scene. It's like a 15-minute scene, just like a 4-car race. Very cool. But believe it or not, we didn't put it on the list at all. And neither one of our stars made the list. Like, so now we have to rethink it.
Okay.
It was a 96 or 97 action film called The Rock. Not the wrestler The Rock or the actor.
Right.
It stars Nicolas Cage and Sean Connery.
Yes.
They have an epic chase scene through San Francisco.
Oh,
Sean Connery
okay.
has a Humvee military vehicle.
Yep.
Nick Cage has a yellow Ferrari. So you got like off-road power, muscle versus the sports car. And San Francisco, if you've never been, there's extremely hilly.
Yeah.
So they're launching over hills or crashing through buildings. That might be my favorite chase scene. The music's kicking in, your adrenaline's pumping. Absolutely amazing. I'll put that one. I'll put that as my top, to be honest.
All right.
Yeah.
So
I'll lock it in right there.
So I'll put. Was it tomorrow? No.
Diner of the Day.
Dying of the Day.
That's still Pierce Brosnan. That was his last one. Yep.
Yeah, he was definitely driving. Yep. And you had the Rock.
The Rock. Yeah.
And now you say Nicolas Cage. I'm blanking. What's the other? Like he was in a
He made a slew of
the car.
Gone in
theft.
60 seconds. Yeah.
60 seconds.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
There's a final scene. He races a Shelby Mustang in the end of that. Yeah.
I mean that had
Running from the
and
cops.
that was
yeah.
the timing before Fast.
Oh boy. Yes, that was a little bit before, I want to say. Oh boy, my timeline is slipping.
Let's hear.
Fast and Furious 1 was 2001. And I want to... Well, Gone in 60 Seconds is a remake, anyways. It was an older film.
All right. 1974.
Yeah, that was the original.
2000 for that.
Okay, so about a year before.
A year
Fast and
before,
Furious.
just beat it.
Yeah, just eked it out there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was another like cool. I remember like all the car chase scenes.
Oh,
in
yeah.
that. Like I mean, just always trying to stay a step ahead.
Yeah, totally.
Really cool. Yeah, those are some great ones. But yeah, maybe people at home too have like scenes, and maybe it could be like a different method of transportation too.
Yeah.
You know, like a plane. Like you think about like Top Gun,
Like,
when like these dog fights and stuff.
Thought you were going to go somewhere humorous like Segways.
Oh,
Epic. Race scene through the mall in a
Mall
Segway.
cop.
Yeah. Paul Blart 3 perhaps, like Segway race. Yeah, no, there's probably all kinds of cool stuff like skateboards and Back to the Future. Maybe one day with tech we'll have some people on like e-bikes, like electric bicycles.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
zipping around.
yeah. I was just
know,
watching a guy. I was running this
hoverboards.
morning, and the guy was building. This Russian dude he was building like this ultimate like scooter. Like, he machined the whole thing,
wow.
which was like intense. I mean,
pretty
that's
cool.
a labor of love.
Sure.
So, but yeah, can you picture like like scooters with
Yeah.
NOS on them? Like you see a kid going by, and like,
no.
oh, he's got flames coming
I
out of
know.
his scooter.
I think I'll weep a little bit if that's our action films of the future, to be
Yeah,
honest.
I mean, you'd have to have some protective
Yes.
wear on that.
It's a sick electric bike, bro. How
Oh,
fast you get on
man.
that thing? 20 miles an hour.
Yes, I'm smoking.
Oh, man.
0 to 30 in 2 minutes.
Yes.
Yeah. Now let's. So we got a good list of all the like the criteria. We got some of our top people.
Sure.
And now, I mean, I think we could bounce around. Maybe
Yeah.
like pick our. Oh, it's not from the 1907s.
Yeah, they got changed in our typing.
That
That one year in particular, the old 1907 action film.
Yeah, it was more like pictures then.
Picture, yeah, the moving picture
Moving
films.
pictures.
Yeah, you found that great website. Maybe we could direct people to those.
Yeah.
It laid out 70s and 80s. I couldn't find one in the 90s. Maybe it's somewhere else.
Let's see.
Every year, because again, the 80s was like the heyday, 70s kind of started the trend.
Right.
Talking about what was the quintessential action movie of that year per decade.
Every decade, yeah. Look at that. It was 1930s, huh?
Going way back to the 30s.
Had an archer with tights.
A little Robin Hood movie.
Yeah. We're going to
All
skip
right, so
ahead.
flipping it to the 40s, 50s.
Some I have no reference.
Yeah, like some of them in the 70s I haven't seen.
But
80s, I think I've seen them all. So
Yeah.
more of a
70s.
70s car chase. That was a big muscle car era. Big block engines. What else did we got
Was
here?
he
Oh, he's all famous people.
Lex Luthor?
Yeah, Gene Hackman.
Gene Hackman was Lex Luthor.
You got
one of the
I
first.
forget his name, but he's in Jaws in the side there. Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I've seen this one.
Yeah.
Oh, The French Connection. Maybe. I
Oh
have.
yeah, that is epic chase scene in it. Yep.
So
see what
we
else
got.
we got.
Oh yeah, here we go. Yeah, and then 80s.
Yeah, I think
Wisecracking
80s.
Cop,
Yeah.
Bruce Willis,
Die Hard, yep.
Man the Myth, and maybe we talked about it in our Christmas episode.
Yeah, we
you know, like
did.
that came up.
Is it a Christmas movie? And we said yes.
I never even thought about it. So my brother-in-law like dressed like a character. We had a
Mm-hmm.
theme at our holiday parties. Dressed like a character from your favorite.
Oh, okay.
And my
Christmas
brother
movie.
came in the A shirt.
Yeah.
It has another name, but I won't use it because it's
Yeah,
not politically correct. But he came in with the A shirt on, and
yeah.
like he
Like a
looked like
tank
kind of
top, yeah.
roughed up a little
Yeah.
bit. I'm like, what movie? He's like, well, it's showing during Christmas. I'm like, all right.
I'm
all right.
Detective John McClane. Oh, all right. Yeah, it's a
There it
Christmas
is.
film.
Yeah, that'll
Absolutely.
So yeah.
Oh, it does talk about the 90s. All right, cool.
Yeah, and do you know Kung Fu?
Yeah. 90s was a real, like, martial arts kind of decade for, like,
Yeah.
fight movies and stuff.
Oh, Fight Club too. Yeah.
Yeah, Fight Club was weird.
I mean,
that was very weird.
yeah, that was really weird.
I think we're going to steer some people away from certain films. You know,
Yeah,
that was a bizarre one.
The Blair Witch Project. That
Yeah,
was
see, again-
cultish. That
again,
was
like, yeah, to me, that's not action, like, at all.
no.
It's like
That's more like
thriller, suspense.
thriller. Yeah.
I like the list you were generating there, kind of pinpointed some of the top ones.
So I mean,
I think these ones we can both get behind and recommend.
so yeah. So in the 70s, we had like Enter the Dragon,
Oh, yeah. Bruce Lee classic.
Bruce Lee, and the character we just mentioned, Jaws.
Yep, right.
The original Star Wars, also known as A New Hope.
Yeah, and that was one too I was going to mention. You're talking about Avatar. Wasn't George Lucas? That's why he jumped right to 4 first, because he didn't have the technology he felt to make 1, 2, and 3 properly,
Right.
the way he wanted. So that's why 1977 was episode
So he
4
was thinking,
first.
he was thinking, George Lucas was thinking like Cameron, kind of
Yeah,
waiting.
sure.
And I tell you, I mean, it one of those movies that holds up.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
I mean, it's not like you
Yeah.
watch, you're like, oh, it looks so cheesy. You're like,
No.
The first time when you see like the destroyer flying over, like,
Yeah.
and then you have Spaceballs,
Yeah. No. Kind of mocking him,
where they
mimicking
make
it.
that ship like it's like 10 minutes of a
Yeah,
ship.
right. Just massive.
It's awesome. So yeah, Alien. I didn't realize that was in the 79.
Yeah. 79. Yep.
I was like,
yeah.
I think of that little guy.
Yeah,
there.
you can put that also like into sci-fi, possibly. The
That
fighting,
that could be
creature
a
in outer
whole
space.
different genre.
Sure.
We have in the 80s, we have Predator.
Oh, yep.
Yep.
I mean, definitely military action, but again, fighting an alien. So.
yeah, like, it was
Could blur the
real,
lines,
real
sci-fi.
scary. Yeah,
Yeah.
but never like, no Die Hard. Mm-hmm. And I'm sorry, I put Empire Strikes Back because
Yeah.
it's Star Wars
Of course.
and Scarface.
Graphic.
Very graphic. And yeah, we got and then getting into like, was there any like 80s for you? Was there any other ones that you
Ooh.
don't see that?
So many. I did try at one point to sit down and write a big list for myself, but I don't know.
Let's see. Let's see if we can.
My common joke
Jar.
is how much time you got.
Right.
Because again, to me, like I'm seriously trying to pinpoint. Okay, what's just a pure action film that's plausible, believable, not sci-fi, not horror. So yeah, like Indiana Jones. I
Yeah.
love number 3. That's my favorite. The
Okay.
Last Crusade.
The Last Crusade.
All
Okay.
very plausible.
Yep.
All great action, historical based too. So the history nerd in me was definitely peaked.
Definitely.
All right, so
Yeah.
81 was the first one. Raiders of the
and
Lost
also,
Ark.
I don't know how many of them he was in, but Sean Connery was
Yeah,
also in.
number 3,
He was his dad, correct?
Yeah, he played his father. Yep.
Yep.
Yes. R.I.P. to Sean.
We talk
Connery
about some
last year.
big. You think about like some big movies like Harrison Ford.
Oh,
Like
totally.
from Solo. You know,
Han
like
Solo and then Indiana Jones.
I mean, how many like Rocky was 70s?
Oh yeah, that was 70s also. Yeah,
But they had some
78 or
there was-
79 maybe.
How many like what the original character like? I would say 3. I would say three of the good ones I know.
Yeah,
But they go into
yeah.
the 80s. It starts 70s, goes into the
Yeah,
80s.
right,
Like when I think of the original Rockies, the 1, 2,
Yeah,
3.
sure.
So like he goes First Blood and Rocky. I mean another 2. Wham
Oh, yeah.
bam, huge.
First Blood Part 2 was incredible. That was such a like crazy action film. Like
Oh my gosh.
real like adrenaline pumping. It's got a helicopter chase scene,
Everything.
sneaking around the jungle.
Yep, we did that one.
Yep. Oh, the Terminator.
Terminator, I'll be back.
T2. Might be one of my favorite action films.
That
Fantastic.
CGI, like that, where
that
CGI was
good
cool.
CGI. That was great. Yes.
Like that guy, I'm like, how they gonna get this guy? T-1000, man.
This epic.
I need to go back and watch one of these.
Oh yeah.
I'd rather go watch one of these rather than. I'm not big into horror films and stuff.
Yeah, sure.
I used to, but like, I'd go back and watch.
These are scary too. Yeah, like
they
fighting
are.
robots and stuff. Yeah. See, I never saw Jackie Chan. Police Story.
I never saw the Police Story.
I like Rush Hour and Jackie Chan. Those are funny. Funny and great.
Oh, they are. They are. They have a nice blend.
Yeah.
Epic.
Oh, Top Gun.
Top Gun.
I feel the need for speed. Classic.
Racing.
Predator, you mentioned, was 87. Okay.
No, there's a lot of guns, but look at Arnold's.
I mean, Arnold just like jacked. That guy was.
They should have named him Jack Schwarzenegger.
Yeah. Just a monster of a human.
So I think
Die Hard
we already said.
Okay.
Yeah.
And 89 went to. I say Batman. Yep.
Batman.
Great, but I put that more in a superhero category.
Superhero, right.
But Batman is very believable, very realistic. He has no superpowers.
Okay, so yeah. I think, there we go.
Yeah. The 70s were all over the place. Bruce Lee, Alien, Star Wars.
So I think, we got, I put in, someone put in John Wick was one.
Oh, yeah, more modern ones. Okay.
Mission Impossible's in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
And now in 2000, here's one I really, really loved, Gladiator.
Yeah. Any
that
historical
was,
action? Sure.
Super.
Yep. Won the best picture.
Phenomenal.
Right?
Russell, Russell
Crowe.
Yeah, Russell Crowe.
Yep.
I don't see the other one. Oh, the Bourne series.
Bourne was really good.
Bourne Identity.
Again, see, those are the ones I personally love. Like plausible, realistic, doing practical effects.
Right.
On my personal list, I was coming up with like the Transformers movies I liked when they came out.
Yep, Transformers.
Very cool, great action, but again, car-changing robots, it's not real yet. So,
but it'd be so cool. And now,
totally
on a level of coolness, how awesome! Like, how excited do you get when you just hear? I can't even do credit, but like when you hear Optimus Prime's voice.
The noise.
And there was like a black screen, and you just hear his voice. You're like, it's gonna be good.
This is Optimus Prime.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say the changing noise, like.
Oh my!
Incredible!
I mean, I think Star Wars and Transformers probably taught boys and young girls how to make sounds.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I think they
sound effects.
like how lightsabers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we could do a whole thing on just that.
Practical effects and sound effects, definitely.
But yeah, Optimus Prime's voice is just like so clutch.
Yep.
I couldn't find a soundbite quick enough.
We can edit one in later. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll put one in. So we got that. I put Fast and Furious. We already talked about them.
Yep. Cool.
2010s. I put Judge Dredd. I found one.
Yeah.
And now this is action, kind of mind bender too. Inception.
Yeah.
That was.
I don't even know what to categorize that film. There's a lot of action.
It's like categorizing the music artist Beck.
Yeah, seriously. Like, what category do you fall under?
He does folk. He does electronic.
Yeah, that was a great film though. I like that one.
And I forgot the director of it.
That was it'll come to me when I'm not thinking of it, of course.
But he dropped some things on Twitter or X or whatever.
He did the Batman, the recent ones. Christopher Nolan.
He dropped things like this will help explain it a little bit more.
Right,
just so you know, like when you get to the end, you're like, wait. I saw my dad. I'm like, Dad.
Yeah.
What just?
I know.
What just happened?
But see, we've talked about that. I like that. When you leave the theater, you discuss with the person you saw with. Like, what do you think that meant? Or that ending was symbolic for this, that? That makes a quality movie, in my opinion.
Just ridiculous. Just awesome. I love that.
Yep.
And that's kind of Matrix what did to me too. Like we just, love it, hate it, Keanu Reeves bandwagon. But you were just like the one scene. Even though a little kid, when he was going to see the Oracle, Neo is, and he was like, he sees this one little kid, looks like a little like Tibetan monk kid, and he's like,
guru.
You're not. He goes, how are you bending the spoon? I'm not bending the spoon. I'm bending the truth.
Yes.
And he's like, what?
He's like, what is the truth? That there is no spoon. Yes.
There is no spoon. yeah, there it is.
Real trippy. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just really, really cool. Like the parallel of like guys reading the code and like. The Matrix is where your real life is, and the other world is a facade, skin.
It's a spoiler. Well,
20
2000. So 23 years.
2 decades later.
I think we've met
the 2-week criteria.
I remember that discussion though. I was in 10th grade. Like we were all trying to guess. We're like, what is the Matrix? Like, what is it?
Right.
So that Monday after we all saw it, we're like, oh, it was a computer world where people are actually asleep and they're dreaming and stuff. And
it's
really
yeah,
neat, though.
it's and like how many action movies like based off of like that, like
copy
like
the genre,
from the jump, like the 3-point stance landing and all of that. And
the Matrix set that up, but also like Die Hard did that too in the 80s.
Yeah.
So after Die Hard came out, there was a slew of films like Speed and I forget a bunch of other ones, but it was like, all right, this is Die Hard on a bus, this is Die Hard on a boat, this is Die Hard in a plane.
Right.
Just the concept of like the lone hero trying to save the day, sneaking around, defeating the bad guys.
Yeah.
That created a whole like plot, graphic, basically filling the web graphic,
Right.
how to film a great action film.
And how many of us remember? What was the movie? Was Sandra? Was that Speed?
Yeah, with the bus.
With the bus,
Keanu
like
Reeves
how
on the bus.
like how many movies like that? Like
Totally.
Snakes on a Plane. Like all these sorts of things.
Executive Decision with Kurt Russell. Like, oh, there's bad guys on the plane. We gotta go get them. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Like I mean, if something like crazy goes on in a plane, you think about like what could happen. Windows out and all the chaos.
Yep.
Excellent.
Cool. Maybe a wrap-up question. What's a recent action film that you've seen that you really enjoyed? I just watched the new Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem.
Oh.
I kind of like the artwork they're going with now. It's kind of like a Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
So if you guys have access to that, definitely check it out. Obviously, I love the Turtles. That came out like this year, and I was like, that was a great, fun action film.
That's really awesome, and I love that idea of it was like from my childhood coming back.
Yep.
And it's funny you mentioned that because some people, another couple in our neighborhood, invited a bunch of little kids to come over tonight to watch that movie and to have pizza.
Perfect.
And I'm like, I'm gonna be sitting right next to the little
in,
kids. So I'm gonna be like, look at this guy. Yeah.
Throw on a Ninja Turtles shirt, Mr. Blaze, and sneak right in. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
We saw Across the Spider-Verse.
Oh, I got to see that one still.
Yes.
Yeah.
And again, with similar to like the Ninja Turtles, like very painterly.
Yeah, I love that style.
Artwork. I'm like, man, I want that shot as a background.
It looks like a comic book splashed into like action, like the artwork and styling. Yeah.
It's one of those that's going to make you want more when you watch it, though. I tell you, it's phenomenal.
Totally.
All the cool things, different Spider-Man in there.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. I'm like, a spider what? Spider this? That's really cool. So yeah, I think that's cartoon, but like action.
Yeah, still
close there.
Action.
And
very neat.
Yeah. I think that's, and then like you think about when action movies, a lot of time, like in the summertime is the big draw.
Yeah, the big blockbuster.
Speaking of summer, know what I just thought of one as I'm ending? Independence Day.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Will Smith.
Yep.
That was a solid one.
97, 98, yeah.
Yes. That wasn't even on any of the lists. I just thought about that.
Will Smith didn't pop up at all. But
because I'm thinking of like, that was a summer one, if I recall the timing of it. Or the release at like May, so it'll go into June, July.
Sure.
But yeah, that one was
a great one.
They made 2, right? I think.
Yeah, the second one was abysmal.
Yeah,
it was so bad.
It's tough.
That was one of those classic ones, like Top Gun. You're waiting 2 decades for the second one to come out. So much hype, but that one just completely dropped.
Yeah, that was a phenomenal. Do you think it's plausible? I think of like War of the Worlds.
Yeah.
Right.
I think we're going to talk about aliens coming up in this season, so we shall see.
It's almost like Unsolved Mysteries.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. Overlaps.
What sound does an alien make?
Mm-hmm.
Oops! Spoiler alert.
Yes, we're gonna have a guest alien on, so stay tuned.
Nice. Well, I think that was a nice.
That was action packed.
Very much so.
Love it.
Yes.
So yeah, go out there, check out an action film, get some popcorn, get a pizza.
Yeah.
And let us know which ones you loved, which ones you thought were lame.
Right.
All the above.
Yeah. Favorite actors, ones we missed, ones you agreed on.
Mm-hmm.
And hit up the poll, follow, share. Sharing is caring.
Cool. Yeah, we're all over the place now.
And and hopefully, maybe down the road we can get some swag going, some stickers and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
So you swing by our room if you're extremely local listener in the school.
Like
definitely
as in the building. Yeah.
Stop by. We might have some swag.
Very cool.
All right. Well, thanks for listening, and we'll catch you soon.
We'll be back.